Hello, thank you for inviting me to talk. My name is Stephanie Crawford. What I do is that I'm a faculty member. I'm in academia for the teaching, research, and service. I am professor in the Department of Pharmacy Systems, Outcomes, and Policy at the University of Illinois Chicago College of Pharmacy, where I'm also the Executive Associate Dean for Faculty Affairs and Strategic Initiatives. One of the things that I always want people to know is the length of your title does not dictate how much you are paid. When did I first know I wanted to pursue a career in science? You know, when you're little, the parents might give you a little doctor's kit where you're kind of giving injections, but it's really a syringe with sugar pills or something like that. That told me I wanted maybe planted some seeds in terms of the health professions, but in terms of switching it more to the sciences, it depends upon what any individual really wants. I definitely loved chemistry a lot, loved biology. While I loved political science and history, the sciences came to me a little bit more easily. So I guess at an early age, certainly childhood, teen years, I knew I wanted to go into some sort of the sciences. I do want to say one thing, it's different types of sciences. It's different ways you can apply the sciences. So as you become a scientist, if that's your interest, you might get some of the basics and learn a lot about the technical aspects that you might use in some way in your job. This does not necessarily mean that you will be a laboratory-based scientist. It depends upon your interest. It does not necessarily mean that you will go into research, which you certainly can, but that you have a certain foundation. Taking that within the sciences, depending upon the industry you go into, you would know a lot of the technical information, even if you went into business, executive management, or you're always going to be probably collaborating with teams, either in a matrix or in research endeavors. And also think about it's different types of sciences. It's the so-called, quote, as a colloquialism, hard sciences. These are a lot of mathematically based sciences, chemical, etc. But it's also the social sciences. Anytime we want to do any discovery in a systematic manner, you're looking at people and their behaviors. That's what I do. Those are the social sciences. So it's different ways to think of science and how you might use it in your career. What advice would I give to young girls who are considering a career in science? Tell people, learn more, ask questions, depending upon how old you are. Maybe when you're very young, it might be a different way, but once you're preteen, definitely a teen, you could even, take your daughters to work types of days, which means any young person doesn't have to be related to you, can accompany someone perhaps who works in the sciences to see if you're interested. And remember, the sciences are a lot of things. Do you like some of your science teachers? Do you know of a career scientist who's very popular? You write to them, have someone introduce you in different ways, but expose yourself, at least to know a little bit more about it. But I would say, as a young person, if that's your passion, go for it, but don't rule out any other careers yet. Explore everything, including the sciences, as you're considering what you might do. What challenges have I faced as a woman in science, and how have I overcome it? Well, as a woman, and also as we see as a Black woman, because of that intersectionality, some people might doubt why you're there. Some people might say, we don't know this area, what can she do? Even though they see your credentials are quite high, it's still going to be that initial curve, whereas it might appear that we have to prove ourselves a little more than perhaps some who are in more established roles or history of that. And how do we overcome it? Work hard, show what you can do, don't be afraid to speak up, always come prepared, put your ideas on the table. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. We want to start that interaction. Networking is part of the work environment. It does not mean, because it's something I never did, although I was invited to go have lunch with the guys all the time, it was not what I chose to do. I'm not someone who go out and play golf. Sometimes these business decisions are decided in informal situations, yet I would always bring it back and say, what was discussed, and make sure that any formal decisions, at least with my department or groups I work with, were never decided until everyone could be included who was at a business function about the big decisions. But I think once people know what you can do, not only is that overcoming it, you will be sought out. People want your advice. They want you to work with them. They'll want you to lead a lot of the initiatives. And so that's when you decide, what can I work on? What should I work on? What is the timeline? And then deliver the product.